Hi, welcome to Organic Pinch Pot Virtual Mini Lesson. My name is Lisa Swanson. I'm a teaching artist and a ceramic sculptor. So for this lesson, we're going to learn about organic forms, and we're going to make them out of clay using the pinch pot hand building technique. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is what is an organic form. So an organic form is what I would say an asymmetrical form that is in contrast to a symmetrical form. So this is round symmetrical form, and this is an asymmetrical form because it's asymmetrical. It's not symmetrical, and it also is organic. And organic forms a lot of times are inspired by nature. So that's what I want to talk to you about in regards to what kind of forms would you think that you'd like to pinch, make a pinch pot out of, that you like in nature. Sometimes people like to make flowers, or doesn't have to be something that's representational. It can just be from pinching the clay and the clay is so expressive, and just pinching it creates an organic form. So a lot of my artwork that I do is based on pinching organic forms and sculptures. So anyway, I'm excited about this because I love to pinch organic forms. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the supplies that you need today are very simple. You just need your clay, your fingers, and some simple tools like a pencil, maybe a wooden tool to smooth with, and some objects that you can press into the clay. And so I want to talk to you about the clay. I've been doing this each lesson. I want to talk to you about the clay. There's two kinds of clay. There's the clay that is fired in a pottery kiln, and that is this big chunk of clay. And this clay you can buy it at a ceramic store, any ceramic store that sells clay and glazes. But the thing about this clay is that once it's dried, it has to be fired. It gets two firings. This is the bisque firing, so it would dry out. You'd have to take it somewhere to somebody that has a kiln, or a store that has a kiln, ceramic store. And then that's the first firing. Then the second firing is the glaze firing, where you paint under glazes on it, different paints under glazes, which are clay that's watered down, and it gets a clear glaze over the top, or you can use different glazes that are lower temperature, and it gets fired in the kiln again. So that's the first clay. This is an earthenware clay. The second clay that you can use is called paper clay, and this clay is an air drying clay. And it has the same characteristics when you pinch it and work with it as the fired clay, but it doesn't get fired in a kiln. And you can actually air dry it. It dries very hard for a couple of days, and then you can paint it with multi-surface paints that you can just purchase at any art supply store. And so that's the difference. So I just wanted to make it, a lot of people don't have access to pottery kilns. So by using the paper clay, you can still participate in the video and create an organic pinch pot. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Step number one is a little different than what we've been doing. And step number one would be to go ahead and sketch a design. The instruction sheet that you can download that follows along with this video has about 8 or 9 images on it of different ideas for organic shapes. So you could use one of those and just kind of sketch your ideas on a piece of paper, or you could sketch your ideas on paper, or you could go outside, just take your sketchbook outside and make some sketches and just see, you know, like maybe you'd like to sketch a tree or make a, or the branches, or, you know, just something like a, you know, some kind of a rock or anything that inspires you when you're outside. The thing that you have to remember though is when you do sketch your design or your what you're going to make, it's two-dimensional. And when you come back to make it out of the clay, the pinch pot will be three-dimensional. So it will never turn out the same as what you sketched because you're going from two-dimension to three-dimension. So your sketches are literally just sketches and they're just ideas. But remember when you go to sit down with the clay that you're actually creating the piece. So don't get too hung up on your sketch, and don't get too hung up when your pinch pot doesn't turn out like your sketch. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the clay. So you're going to want to take some kind of wire or fishing line, or you can just grab a chunk of clay off of here. It's up to you. The same with the paper clay. You can just tear it off, or you can use a wire to cut it. I'm going to go ahead and cut it with a wire. I keep my wire really tight. There we go. And I cut myself some, I did it in 4s. You want to make sure that the piece that you grab, if you're just starting out, is not too big for your hand. If you're experienced, use whatever size you want. But when you're first starting, it's good to have one that is complementary to the size of your hand. Okay, so I'm going to grab one more piece because I'm actually going to show you 2 different ways to make an organic pinch pot, and I'm following a couple of the designs that are on the instruction sheet of the images on there. One of them I actually have right here. This piece has not been fired yet, and this is what it looks like when you use the pottery clay when it's dried out. It's kind of turns into a light gray versus the dark gray, and that's how you know it's dry. At this stage, when it's dry, it's extremely fragile, so you have to be really careful with it. But anyway, we're going to make a organic pinch pot that is an open form like this, and I'm going to show you how to pinch it and to make it organic. And then the second one is going to be a different technique of pinching where you create a more sculptural form, kind of like we did in with the portrait pinch pots from the outside. Okay, so let's get started on the first one. Okay, so you're going to want to go ahead and take your lump of clay, hit it into the ball just like we've been doing. You can hit it with your hand, or you can roll it on the table. Notice I have a canvas down. Okay, so there we go. There's my ball. I'm going to take my thumb, stick it right in the middle. Okay, and remember, if you go through the bottom, not a big deal. Clay is extremely forgiving. Okay, so you can just take a lump of clay and patch wherever you need to. So that's what it looks like with the hole. Okay, one thing that I did want to talk to you about is when you go to pinch, you want to pinch at the bottom first to create a base. A lot of times people just start pinching the walls and then they don't pinch the inside at the bottom where their base is, and it creates weight at the bottom for your pot. And you don't really want that, because the wonderful thing about pottery is it's not only how it visually looks, but it's how it feels when you hold it too. That's part of one of the aesthetic qualities of pottery. That's important. Okay, so the art elements that we're working with are form right now, and then we're going to work with texture, a little bit of line, and then also color in when you paint it. Okay, so anyway, so I feel like I got my base. I feel like I have it kind of thinned out, and I kind of made it a little bit flatter down there. But now you can see how thick it is right here on the top. It's very thick. So I'm going to go ahead and pinch it. And I'm just going to pinch it all around. You can see the impressions my fingers are making in it. And actually, when you work with clay, it's kind of almost, unless you like really try to make it very symmetrical, it's almost impossible to not make an organic pinch pot. Okay, so I'm just going to keep pinching it and pinching it. And once I have the walls to the not super thin, I personally love thin edges on my artwork. I like that delicate look, that delicate feel. So there it is. It's even, you know, or I have it thinned out evenly around. And now I'm ready to start looking at the form. What kind of form? What is the form I'm trying to make? And so this one here is tall. You can see I made it kind of narrow at the bottom and tall. For this form, I think I'll try and do the same. So I'm going to kind of see how I'm squeezing it in right there. Squeeze it in, and then you can see the organic, just the natural characteristics of the clay from me squeezing it. The clay has its own expression. So it's a combination of my expression. I'm releasing my own personal expression as I pinch the clay, but I'm joining together with the clay. And so it's really important to pay attention to what the clay is doing. People tend to kind of smooth everything out, trying to make it look more symmetrical, but it's really important to see what how is the clay speaking to you? You know, what are the characteristics? What is the expression that's coming forth as you pinch the clay? See right here, I love this like there's like it's not really a crack, it's just kind of a separate layer that's coming through that's giving it dimension. It's actually really beautiful. Yeah, so, okay, so I'm going to do that. And then now, because I want to go ahead and make sure I have time to show you the second one, I would probably try to get it a little bit taller, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to pinch it. So now I'm pinching the edge of it. So I kind of still want to work with the foot. I'm making it a little bit narrower, and I'm going to put it down here. Now I'm really paying attention. Look at the inside of it. Can you see the inside of it? It looks, see the inside of it? Yeah, so you don't want to disregard the way it's looking on the inside. So if you have a paper plate, you can just put it down on the plate. You can turn the plate or turn it. When it starts to become really delicate, you don't want to manhandle it too much. But I'm going to hold this up so you can see. And now I'm really going for the thin edge. Can you see that? I'm like right on the tip, and I'm pinching it all the way around. It's kind of like sometimes people that have made pies, it's like pie crust. I never really made any pies, so I don't know, but that's what people say to me. But anyway, so see, I'm getting it really, really thin. Okay, and one of the things I wanted to show you too, I want to make sure it's sturdy, so you can see the inside of it, right? I want to take it, and I'm gonna tear it now. I'm tearing it, and then I'm pinching it, and then I'm going to actually kind of fold it over. And let's see, what do I want to do with this side? I'm not sure what I want to do yet with this side. I might decide to make this side kind of come over on its own. And I can go ahead and tear it in other areas. You can see it's thick right there, so it's supporting itself, and it gives me room. The thickness gives me space to be able to pinch it really thin. And if it starts to crack, that's okay, you know, because in nature, there's a lot of cracks. And so cracks are not a bad thing. And cracks are characteristic of the clay. Here's a little piece that just came up. Oops, it's fallen over. Okay, so I got to balance it out. There. Okay, so I'm going to leave that kind of like this for now. And I just want to make sure I'm going to get my bottom really sturdy. I want my bottom to be narrow, but I'm going to keep it so it's sturdy. And then now I'm looking at the contour of my sculptural organic piece. Kind of looks like a tree, kind of like a flower. I'm just going to leave it like that, I think, for now. And then I'm going to let it harden up a little. But what I want to do is I can take up my pencil and make little dots, a texture with all around the bottom. So you can press anything into the clay and make texture. Okay, so I want to kind of get it so it's not going to fall over on us. Okay, so I'm going to put this one over here to the side, and now we're going to make another one. Okay, ready? Here we go. So I'm just going to let that other one sit there because when it's out in the air, it dries out some, and that'll help support it. And as it's drying out, I can kind of keep structuring the actual sculptural elements of it so it will support itself and not flop over when it's kind of wet, because I tore the edges. It makes it so it wants to kind of flop over. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. Okay, so there's my ball again, right? Okay, so this time, thumb again into the pinch pot. You want to go about eighth of an inch to a quarter from the bottom. And then I'm going to go ahead and pinch a little bit out in the bottom of this one, because again, we don't want it to be too heavy. And now this one, I want to make the sculptural form from the outside, right? So you can see the inside. Can you see the inside of this one? Yep, see the inside of it? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start pinching it from the outside. Give it. And I'm not too worried about. I'm just grabbing some clay in different areas, and then I'm gonna pinch them and just kind of sculpt them as I go. Sculpt it as I go. And I can make little pockets if I want. See, I just made a little pocket right there. And I want to get this side. Get the other side going. And I'm gonna. All right, so now kind of looks like kind of a mess in a way, right? But that's okay, because now I'm really gonna start pinching it and sculpting it. I'm gonna go ahead and set it on the ground and see if I can get a base going for it, so it'll actually sit on there. There we go. Okay, and I can smooth it with my hand too. And I'm just gonna pinch it now, because I like it to be thin. You don't have to have yours thin. That's just what I like the edge. Not the whole pot is not thin. It's just the edge. I love that edge to be thin. And then some of it I like thick, so it makes for a nice contrast. See down here, I'm kind of making it thicker. And my rim, and pay attention to the inside, because for pottery, people see the inside. So that's part of the whole art piece, is the inside and the outside in a three-dimensional form. Okay, And then I'm just going to go around the whole thing and just see. I look at it and I go, okay, what does this need here? Right? And just keep working my way around it. I probably, if I wasn't demonstrating this, I would probably keep it on a plate and maybe put it up higher. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and try and finish this up now real fast because I want to show you. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this like this for right now. But I would go back and I would smooth it. You can smooth it with your finger. Oh, there's a hole, which is kind of cool. I just stuck up my finger in there to, and I would go back and work it, keep working it. Okay, so once the clay is dried, the paper clay, this is what it looks like. Here's a piece I made. I really enjoyed making this organic pinch pot out of the paper clay. It's like super light, but it's really hard. And you can take a paintbrush and pick any colors that you want, acrylic paint, multi-surface, and go ahead and paint it. I picked turquoise, which isn't real organic, but that's okay. And you can see, you can paint it. Don't want to add a lot of water, because if you add water, I think it'll just soften it up. So it's important not to, but you could do like a dry brush, see, and it picks up some of the texture that you have going on. See that? And then you can overlay color over top of it. But anyway, so that's how you do that. You paint it with acrylic paint. And then for these pieces, these are dry. You could you can paint them while they're dry with the underglazes, but if you get it bisque fired, like this piece, you can see I added some organic shapes inside this piece. Then you would go ahead and paint it with the underglazes on the bisque fire, and you can rub it in and just do different things to enhance the textures that are going on. Okay, so I think time is up again. So I just want to thank everybody for participating in the organic pinch pot lesson. And I hope that it was a positive, meaningful experience for you. And I hope that you just enjoyed working with the clay. So we'll see you again next time. Thank you so much. Bye.